Okay, this recording will cover pretty much everything that is left for this class. So the first one, I'll talk about the chapter six, or the module six. So that is just chapter 10. And for this course, we only cover chapters 1 through 10 in the textbook. So module 6, chapter 10, it's open. I think you've already done one of them, the I Have a Kid Who Maybe. And then the final assignment is a choose your own adventure. So what you will do is it's pretty easy. So you can choose from one of the following choices for your chapter 10 assignment. And what you need to do, sorry, I have to enlarge it so I can see it. So again, you're only going to choose one. There are 3 choices here. Just choose one, okay? So you're going to find an article about the history of special ed and write a brief summary of that article under this assignments tab, and make sure you appropriately cite the article. So, it should be probably a couple paragraphs, not just like a sentence or 2. So if you choose this one, it should be about a page, we'll say. Double spaced, APA format. So find any article that preferably one that you haven't read in any of your other classes, but I'm not necessarily going to know that. Find an article about the history of special ed and write a brief summary. Okay, so that's the first one, and then make sure you cite the article. The second choice is to choose a building within your city, or you can do your school district, whatever. I've had my undergrad students do this at Francis Marion to determine whether it meets the physical accessibility requirements of the ADAA. Francis Marion does not. Shockingly, I know if you've ever been on campus, it's very old. And then you will share the results under this assignments tab, If you do choose to do this, let me know, because I have an accessibility survey that you will complete as part of your assignment, but I have to find it. And then you will do a write-up about it as well. So again, you could do any building, you could do the school, you could do any public building, any building to determine if it meets accessibility guidelines. So that's your second choice. And then your third choice is, and this actually goes right along with a CEC standard. So what you could do, and it kind of goes along with this, it's almost kind of the same thing, but not really, as number 1. Search the web for a special education court case that is not in the textbook, because there are a number of court cases in the textbook. So I want this one to be something different. There was a new court case, a relatively new court case a few years ago. Andrew, so out of Colorado, you might want to look into that one, because I don't think that's I don't think the textbook is updated to include that. So provide the research you found, cite the court case, and provide a 5-sentence description of the court case and its results. Actually, and I'm going to go ahead and change this, I would like more than that. I would like to say, I'm going to say 2 paragraphs to a page-ish. So similar paragraphs to 1 page description of the court case and its results. Okay, so those are your choices. You can find an article about the history of special ed, write again 2 paragraphs, a page-ish summary about the article. Make sure you tell me the article cited correctly. You could choose a building and determine the accessibility. I don't think that's actually a word, but you can determine if the building is accessible for, individuals in wheelchairs or walkers, or anybody who might have, who is blind, hard of hearing, something like that. Anyone who might have some accessibility concerns. Or you could choose you could look for a court case that is not in your book and provide the resource you found, cite the court case, and provide 2 paragraphs to, 1 page description of the court case and its result. Again, making sure you cite the court case so I know what you're talking about. Okay, so pretty easy. Again, if you choose option 2, though, let me know, because like I said, I do have to find the survey for you. Okay, so that's it. Just choose one of the following, 1, 2, or 3, and then you'll submit it as per always. Yes, I do want to save that, actually. So we want to, you will submit it, hold on, into Blackboard. You'll just submit it right here. Okay, so you can, if you click here, you should hopefully know this by now. Here's the document, or if you click here's the document also. Okay, so that's the chapter 10 final assignment, the choose your own adventure. And then the other thing coming up is the presentation. Hold on, I'm getting my calendar real quick. So the chapter 10 is due April 5th. So next Monday, and then the presentation is due April 12th, and I will show you that in just 1 second. I'll get to that. There also is a final exam study guide for you here. You do need to complete this assignment for chapter 10 before the final exam will open for you. It is 50 questions, again, just like the midterm, but it only covers, and I'll get back to the presentation, don't worry. The final only covers chapters 6 through 10. Okay, so it shouldn't be too bad for you. And then, like I said, there is a study guide right here. The final is due April 26th, which is the last day of classes. And then you're done with this class. You don't have any other exams, so once you submit the final and the chapter 10, choose your adventure assignment and your presentation, you're done. Okay, so, and again, just going back, hold on, let me show you. Under module 6 is where you will find the study guide, just in case you didn't see how I got there. So the module 6 folder, that has the chapter 10 materials in there. And then under this module 6 tab, you'll find the study guide, the presentation rubric, and then here's where you will submit your presentation. Okay, you will need to submit it as a YouTube link because we found out over the years that I've taught this course that trying to submit as a PowerPoint or as a Prezi or as whatever you want to do ends up being too large, and so it doesn't submit, right? So you'll just need to convert it into a YouTube link. If you don't know how to do that, Google it, ask your undergrad friends, ask your students. If you're out in school, they all know how to do all this stuff. It's not too hard. Even I can do it. So, all right. So here is the rubric. I think I already, actually, let me go back to the syllabus really quickly. Okay, so here is what it says in the syllabus. Should be developed for about a 10 to 15 minute presentation. Can be longer, of course. I would prefer it to not really be shorter. It is worth 50 points. You need to actually put some effort into it. If someone from a school district asked you to present to their teachers or a state conference or something like that. So you can use anything, you can use any area from chapters 1 to 14. I know I said a minute ago this course only covers really chapters 1 to 10. You are welcome to look at chapters 11, 12, 13, or 14 because there's some really interesting information in there. In the past, those chapters of the textbook had been used for another course, and I completely 100% forgot to check with the person who's still teaching that course to see if those chapters are still used. So that's why we don't go through chapters 11 through 14 in this class, anyways. But you can do anything from chapters 1 to 14. You need to include some visuals, clip art, pictures, whatever, multimedia. So you could do PowerPoint, Smartboard, Prezi, whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. And then must be submitted through Blackboard as a presentation with sound. So you could just do a simple PowerPoint with sound. That's fine. Again, if you don't know how to do that, Google it. I'm recording through Screencast-O-Matic, which is free. You can do Google Castify, whatever works for you. Okay, so if you do, when you do a YouTube link, when you go to submit it, make sure you mark it as either public or make sure that I can see it. So I don't want to have to ask for permission to make sure you, set it up appropriately. It's due April 12th. And then, excuse me, there's smoke coming in from outside. So I think I'm breathing it in apparently. So again, you'll submit as a YouTube link. You can do any of these areas really. Here are some suggestions from your textbook, ADHD, dyslexia, ethnicity and learning disabilities, response to intervention, whatever you want. If you want to do something else, just go ahead and run it by me first so you don't waste your time. And then I say, oh, what is she doing this one about? So if you have another idea, just run it by me. You also need to have one of your slides should be at least 5 references from academic journals or related publications. So not Wikipedia, right? Something, and there goes my dog, sorry. They need to be reputable sources, okay? So that's pretty much it for that. And then I will show you the rubric. And this is posted for you also. So I'm looking for content knowledge, right? I need you to be, in depth, details, examples, etc. Organization of the presentation, make sure it makes sense to you, to me, to anybody else. Again, keeping maybe an audience of school teachers or parents or whoever, you can certainly make a presentation in quotes for parents. You're not actually going to present to them, but just kind of keeping those populations in mind. Mechanics of your printed materials, just don't have any errors. Teacher focus. So we want to think about, we want it to be teacher friendly, useful for teachers out in the field or for parents. Again, something like that. Visual requirements, again, pictures, clip arts, photos, posters, something like that. That enhance the presentation, reinforce the text, not just there because they look cute. What is the point of those visuals? Oral presentation. So you want to make sure that you are, smooth and fluent and speaking at an appropriate level. Don't go by what I do because this is on a vocal quality. Actually, I know I speak very quickly. I hear you. I understand. So don't be me. Originality, try to be a little original. Don't just submit something that you did for another class. Don't steal from anybody else. Pacing, just make sure, that you're moving it along. Keep my interest as you're going. You don't want to be spending 27 minutes on each slide, right? So keep it moving. And then overall presentation quality. You want to make sure I can hear you. So even if you need to do a test with whatever way you're recording on your computer, just make sure that I can hear you. I don't need to see you. So you personally don't need to be on video. You are more than welcome to do so if you want. I sometimes get on camera. I have a camera, on my computer that sometimes I'll turn on, but I don't need to see you. It is, of course, 100% okay to do so. But the more important thing is that I can hear you and that I can see your presentation. All right. And so that is a rubric. And again, that is for a total of 50 points. All right. So that's the presentation. Again, everything that you need is under module 6. So again, chapter 10 is in here. Choose your own adventure. Make sure to submit that by April 5th. And then the rest of module 6, here's your study guide, your rubric, just so you remember what it looks like. And then here's where you will submit your presentation. Once the final is posted, you will get a new announcement posted, and it will tell you, you can actually click right in the announcement. You can click right on the link in the announcement, or it will also tell you where it's, where you can find it. Okay, so I think that is about it. Again, chapter 10 is due April 5th. The video presentation is due April 12th, and then you kind of have a week off, and then everything, meaning the final exam, is due by April 26th. And one more time, you cannot open the final exam until you have attempted the Module 6 assignment. All right, hopefully that's it. Oh, and to answer your email, no, unfortunately, you cannot submit those assignments that you didn't do in the first place. They had been open for, a very significant amount of time. So they should have been submitted initially. So keep working hard, use the study guide for the final, make sure you follow the rubric for the presentation. And there you go. We'll go from there. All right. Have a great rest of the semester.